NBA free agency is right around the corner. There are some big names in play this year. So to help break it down, brought in Stevie Loung from Sportsnet.ca. We're going to go through your top 7, starting with number 7, Chris Middleton.
Middleton is growing right before our eyes. We're just beginning to see all of the moves, all the things he has in his game, Middleton.
Many expected him to opt out of his deal. What makes him such an attractive option?
Well, he's just a fantastic shooter. He can play defense. He's just coming off an all-star year with the Bucks. He's a former second-round player, and it's time for him to cash in. And he's a good player, but he's not the best on this list, obviously.
As we continue to go up, we get better and better, starting with number 6, and Klay Thompson.
Klay is doing it on both ends as per usual tonight.
Balance, rhythm, follow through. We're seeing it all on display here from Klay Thompson.
Now, I'm a little surprised, Stevie. Klay's a good player. We know he's got the injury. He's probably going to be back at some point of the year. I imagined he would be higher on your list, but why number 6?
Yes, absolutely. If this was another situation without the ACL injury, obviously, he would probably be pushing for number 3 on this list. He's that good. He's probably the best 3-and-D guy in the league right now. One of the best 3-and-D guys ever, but unfortunately, an ACL injury. The marketplace not necessarily there for him. I mean, he's going to take meetings with the Clippers and things like that, but he's probably just staying in Golden State where they have the new arena and they want to bring back the Splash Brothers.
Yeah, that doesn't make him as exciting as some of these other options. Number 5 on this list, Kemba Walker.
Oh, Kemba with the shimmy.
When you got a guy like Kemba Walker, he can put you on his shoulders.
He's turning down a lot of money not staying in Charlotte. Boston expected to be the favorites. Kemba is a dynamic player that could, with some other good players, change the fortunes of some teams.
Yeah, Kemba Walker is a great point guard, obviously known for that UConn run in 2011. His situation is a little more interesting because he still is eligible for the Supermax with Charlotte, but they're in a situation where he's a good player, but he's not an elite player, so do you really want to commit that much money? It just feels like the Wolves came out for him, and the biggest one appears to be Boston, who's looking to replace a great scoring point guard with another great scoring point guard.
We won't spoil that. That name's still to come. Number 4 on the list, Jimmy Butler.
This guy can do everything at a high level.
You got to remember how good Jimmy Butler is.
There's just a different level of swagger to this guy.
Now, people forget that Jimmy Butler is good in a lot of different ways. People look at Jimmy, they don't really see him as sexy as some of the other names on this list, but he's an effective player. We talked of Houston, that could make them a different team as well.
Yeah, the Houston situation is kind of interesting. Like, they're clearing the decks right now to create that max slot to get him. They need like 32-7 and like cap space to do it, and they can do it by trading away Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, and I believe
Eric Gordon as well.
Eric Gordon,
I think.
yes.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Butler, obviously, we know what he can do. He's a Raptors killer, so we're familiar with that in this market. He can shoot the 3. He can play great defense. The question I have for if you're Houston, is like, is he really going to function with James Harden and Chris Paul? That's kind of an odd fit because I thought he worked pretty well with Philly. And if you're Philly, you want to keep him, I think.
Well, it feels like all 3 of those guys are kind of ball-dominant guys. So 2 in themselves, and Paul and Harden, yes, they've shown they've worked at times, but adding a 3rd could just mix up the entire chemistry there.
Yeah, particularly with the situation with Chris Paul and James Harden's apparent rift in their relationship.
Insalvageable, so they say, right? That's what the word is. Look, a guy who's known for rifts in locker rooms as well right now is number 3 on this list, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, what a shot from Irving.
They believe that Kyrie is the best finisher to ever play this game.
Yes, Uncle Drew is magical.
Kyrie will be playing, in all likelihood, for his 3rd team already in the league, and the rumors when he leaves are that he's not the best teammate. Is he still worth that max money? I mean, he's probably going to get it, in your eyes.
Despite his attitude problems and his strange flat earther habits, Kyrie Irving is a phenomenal basketball player. He's a very deserving number 3. He's a game-changing shooter, game-changing ball handler. If he's motivated and he wants to actually play for your team, which didn't seem to be the case in Boston, but seems like he wants to play in Brooklyn, and that could potentially take them over the top because he's just that damn good.
Do you see the Lakers making a play for Kyrie as well? I know they created extra money. Davis didn't take his trade kicker there. There's some money there to play with, and Kyrie, LeBron, that reuniting could be intriguing.
It could be very intriguing. It would be interesting for sure. Like, I can't see how it's going to work. Like, I just feel like they're going to break down again. I mean, there's the rumors with Kemba, which we just mentioned, to potentially go there. Obviously, Kawhi, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Spoiler alert.
And like the Lakers are in play for basically every big free
Everybody.
agent.
It's kind of what they do, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not this guy. Number 2 on the list, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant continues to solidify himself as one of the most lethal scorers this game has ever seen.
They're a dynasty with him. They certainly need him moving forward.
Now, Durant is obviously another interesting one, in all likelihood missing the entire season with the Achilles injury, but you sign him not for what you get in the season, you sign him for what you get in the totality of the 4 that you get him with, or 5 if he stays in Golden State. Where do you think he goes?
Shocker, I think he goes to the New York Knicks.
Really?
Right?
Hey, you think they get it?
Yeah, just because this isn't a knock on KD. KD is obviously a phenomenal player.
Yep.
We don't know what he's going to look like after the Achilles injury. It's a huge risk, but the Knicks are just so desperate for star power, and they're willing to take these huge swings. So why not go after KD, kind of get that red shirt year, essentially, and then see what you have in him for like the rest of the contract, like sign him to that 5-year deal.
Pair him up with Canadian RJ Barrett as well. Number 1 on the list, no surprise, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard holds the entire league in the palm of his enormous hand.
Definitely, want him back. He knows what is here and what makes this place special.
It's going to be really tough for him to walk away from those fans.
All right, Stevie. He stay or he leave?
I think he's staying, but on a shorter term contract.
We'll take it. We'll take it in Toronto, of course.
Yeah, so Kawhi Leonard right now is without question the best basketball player on earth in any universe.
Preach.
Right?
Preach.
He could take the Monstars right now. Okay? So the reason why I say short-term deal, though, is because just the way the structure of his contract works, he's more in line to make more money if he stays with the Raptors and signing kind of like a 2-in-1 deal, where like the extra one is more like for security purposes. Yep. But he gets those 2 years, he opts out, he gets to that 10th year of service time, and then he can finally hit that 10-year, 35% max kind of cap.
Yeah.
And then 2 extra years of Kawhi, you never know, and by that time, he might want to still stay in Toronto, but 2 extra years of championship runs. Not bad.
Well, I was going to say 3 championship rings in Toronto might make him want to stay a little bit longer than that. Look, there are many more names than that on the free agent list as well. To see them all, head to Sportsnet.ca and read Steve's latest article.